I traced my hand across a map as a boy, from the Caribbean to Africa. I called it Motherland. I didn't know why, I just knew, and now, so will you. My name is Carl. I was born in the West Indies. My parents are great-grandchildren of enslaved Africans. When I was a boy, I used to look at a map and trace my hand across the ocean, from the Caribbean to a continent I'd never seen. I called it Motherland. I didn't know why, I just knew. I grew my afro in the Black Power years. I declared I am African, not because I'd been there, because in my blood, in my bones, in the stories my grandmother whispered, I already was. In 1996, I got my chance. An American company sent me to build a sales network in South Africa. I remember walking into the South African embassy in London and seeing women in African attire, African hairstyles, walking like they owned the earth. I wept right there. I was coming home. Decades later, I look around this country I love, and I understand something deeply. South Africa carried a burden that few nations on earth have been asked to carry. 3.5 centuries of colonial rule. Then apartheid, a system so deliberately engineered, so ruthlessly maintained, that it didn't just control where people lived and worked and learned. It reached inside. It taught people to see themselves through the eyes of those who oppressed them. This was not an accident. It was policy. Apartheid told African women, your hair is unprofessional. Your features are unrefined. Your skin is a problem to be managed. It wrote those lies into workplaces, into schools, into the mirror every woman faced every morning. And then, in 1994, the political chains were broken. But laws change faster than wounds heal. The beauty industry that stepped in to fill the vacuum carried many of the same messages, dressed in new packaging. Billions of rands spent every year on products designed not to celebrate African beauty, but to approximate something else. Something the system had told generations of women was more acceptable, more beautiful, more worthy. These women are not to blame. They are responding rationally to an irrational inheritance. A woman who reaches for a chemical relaxer or a European-style wig is not making a shallow choice. She may be navigating a workplace that still carries apartheid's unspoken dress codes. She may be trying to protect her daughter from the teasing she herself endured. She may simply never have been shown, clearly, lovingly, repeatedly, that what grows from her own scalp is extraordinary. I think about my ancestors and hers, what they survived, what they kept alive, in secret, in song, in the way they passed down knowledge through grandmother's hands. They did not survive so that the work of erasure could be continued by commerce. Then I met Mario. He's from Cyprus, Greek. He grew up watching his own grandmother infuse oils with herbs from the Mediterranean hills. He told me, my grandmother used to say the plants remember what we forget. We sat at a table on Suka Farm, and we argued, we dreamed. We asked ourselves, what if the ancient streams, African and Mediterranean, could flow together? We built Oriri on this farm, sourced from this soil, tested on ourselves first. I am not here to sell you oil. I am here to offer you something that was stolen a long time ago and has never been properly returned. The knowledge that African hair, in its natural state, is not a problem to be solved. It is a crown to be tended. The certainty that your melanin is not a condition to be treated. It is a gift your ancestors carried across oceans and across centuries at enormous cost so that you could stand here. The Founders 1000 is not a marketing campaign. It is a reclamation. 1,000 women, 60 days, from receding to restored. What colonialism and apartheid tried to make you forget? Your beauty, your identity, your enoughness. Oriri was built to help you remember. African is enough. Always was. Always will be. Built on African soil for African women. Join me, 1,000 women, 60 days. Take back what was always yours.